It is race weekend, and unfortunately it's the last race weekend of 2023 for me. It feels like everyone's getting ready to race, like the big three are kicking off their season and my year is coming to an abrupt end. In the UK, you get to that Christmas period, there is no racing. That's probably why everyone goes to Belgium. And most importantly, we're going to talk about my love-hate relationship with the 80% rule. Oh. But breakfast first, then we're going to head out for a spin, get the legs firing, ready for tomorrow. Who are you backing for the big three battle? I've got Wout this year. I reckon Wout's going to pull through. Wout-cha, Wout-cha. Comment down below who you reckon's going to win. Have a look at that. Whipping up a pre-race ride storm. But if you can hear during this intro some loud noise like a Boeing 747's about to land in my kitchen, it's because the rocket now has a dehumidifier. Man, she loves that thing. She loves that thing more than me. It's on all the bloody time. And it ripples through the house. Christ, you got that loud enough?
You know, it glitches sometimes if you play an audio clip.
Jesus. Here she is, superstar of the channel. You're live. Oh no. Oh, we've got a question for you, Rocket. What do you love more? Me or your new dehumidifier?
My dehumidifier.
You should see the amount of water I can get out of this place, babe. I was going to say it was tropical in the UK today, 10 degrees. Just before I left, there was some blue skies. Now it's bloody raining. Typical. But today, we're going to talk about the 80% rule. I'm probably going to get some stick for this because I've always been dead against it and hate it. And that's because I have my own battle with it and have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. Don't get me wrong, it's mega. The 2 times I survived it, I felt like a hero. But the other 10 times that I haven't, it's pretty miserable. Especially when you paid all that money to get their race, to not get a full race sucks. Now, let me explain. Last week, I've done a couple of videos with the legend that is Ian Field. If you haven't watched them, go and watch them. They're unreal. But honestly, I see some of the videos that are out there on YouTube and it pains me that those two do not have millions of views. Now on to the 80%. Off camera, me and Ian went for a coffee and something to eat after, and I could have made another 3 or 4 videos. I asked him what his thoughts were on the 80% rule. Now it's absolutely blowing a gale up here, so I'm gonna have to go down the hill and then continue this. Right, we're out of the wind. The 80% rule, for those that don't know, in cyclocross UCI races, if you are more than 80% behind the leader's first lap time, you will get pulled off the course. Historically, I have hated it. Why? Because it affects me, of course. It's all about Georgie boy. But I thought, when I was with Ian, I thought I'll ask him, what do you think on the 80% rule? And his reply was, nothing makes me happier than seeing it ruin your weekend. No, he didn't really, he didn't. In all seriousness, I wanted to ask Ian to find out what he thought as a rider that was at the front, not getting pulled, and it was probably affecting him, like lapped riders and stuff. And he said it was a good idea. Now, before everyone goes and hates on Ian, he put across a very valid point, and honestly, he sort of changed my mind on it a bit now, and I'm on the fence. So the way he explained it to me is, for the guys at the front, those results are so important. Not only the prize money for getting a first, you get like 350 euros. For some of them, that could be supporting their career, and then to add to that, it could also be their contract for the following season. They're pro riders. You're stepping in to race at like UCI elite level, and you've got to respect that they're doing it for their job And for him personally, he said to me, before the 80% rule, he was at a national and he was weaving in and out of back markers, and a rider intentionally tried to block him. Now, he didn't name any names. He didn't really. He didn't name any names, but if I was racing, I'd have blocked him. Now, I know what you're thinking. People just don't do that in cross, but like he said, it only takes one person to have a grudge against you or something like that, and they might intentionally try and hold you up. And he said that person blocking him could have cost him, one, the win, the result, and two, his contract for the next season. And I'll be honest, it really got me thinking about, yeah, I am going into, if someone come into my day job and tried to take me out or something, you'd be pretty annoyed. Now, I can only speak for myself, and I know I wouldn't personally get in the way of one of those leaders, but I completely understand that, like, in the heat of the moment, you could still be battling against someone for like 20th place. I think at the last couple of rounds, only 18 riders have got the full race in, so you could potentially be battling for a top 20, which in a UCI race does earn you £20. Big money, big money. And I get it, in the heat of the moment, you might not want to give up the space, or you might still be battling, and you could potentially take someone out who's doing it for a career and who relies on that money and the results to get their sponsorships. And it really got me thinking, and now I'm on the fence about it, and I do understand it a lot more now I've heard it from a top rider's perspective. Now, the reason why I'm still on the fence is because it limits the amount of people that enter. It's as simple as that. Like in the race at Torbay, I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm gonna hazard a guess that I was only 2 or 3 seconds off getting a full race. Now, I think in that situation, there's got to be like a little bit of leniency. Like, what's to say the guy that did get through, the Hope rider, didn't crash on the next corner and we went past him? Then he would have been the back marker, blocking people. And looking at the times, my slowest lap time at Torbay was a 9 minute, and for Thomas Main, who won the race, to lap me, I'd have had to do a 10:30 30. So 1:30 slower. These aren't exact numbers. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head before someone goes and checks the results and says, ah. It's a rough guide. It was about 1.5 minutes. Now, should they have let me through? Absolutely! And honestly, we lose so many entries because people see that and think, well, what's the point of me travelling X amount of distance to get half an hour? Which I've been in that situation myself, but now I'm seeing it from an elite rider's perspective. Like, would it annoy you if you lost a national championship because someone chopped you? A back marker that you were lapping got in your way? And I was like, yes, it would. I've got to say, the 80% rule sort of got to stay, hasn't it? So I'm accepting it. I'm going to stop crying about it. I'm going to get on with it. And the goal is beat the 80%. It's as simple as that. But let's get this miserable, wet ride done and eat some food and have some coffee. Now we're talking. That is training done, pre-race ride done. We've got the goods served up. The Rockets whipped up some, well, they're frozen croissants, but they are good. And I can't show the Rocket because I don't want to be on camera. I've got wet hair. Look, there's the back of the Rocket. She's just had a shower. How was Bums and Tums? Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Look, the Rocket's got a coffee machine for her birthday. Well, yeah,
for both of us.
the Rocket's brother bought us a coffee machine as like a joint 30th birthday present. So we have coffee now. I feel like proper adults now. Coffee machines, dehumidifiers.
It says fill milk froth up to 1 of the 2 max level indicators.
That doesn't warm it though, does it?
Yes, it depends which button you press.
Oh.
Have you put your pod in?
No.
We'll get your pod.
Oh, it's all confusing. Gonna have to put the camera down. Put that in there. Here we go.
Do you want a small coffee or a big?
No, I'm not a big one. I'm a big boy, babe. Give me a big coffee. Take one with the new coffee machine. I'll let the Rocket do the honours. Oh. Before anyone says you should have got one of like the coffee grinding big machines, our house isn't big enough. So like and subscribe and the rocket can get a big house. Probably not. It's smaller than I thought. That's what she said. Look at this. This is what we actually train for. Coffee and croissants. Taste test. Yeah, nice. God, it's hotter than I thought. The fuel of choice, me and the rocket. Oh, I can't pick this up without dropping it. Biscoff croissants. Rocket, today's video is on the 80% rule. Don't worry, you won't be in shock. What are your thoughts on it after did I tell you what Ian said?
Yeah.
Of course I did. I'm an Ian Field fanboy now, aren't I? I speak about him more than I speak about the rocket. What are your thoughts on it? Should everyone just man up and get on with it? Gone with the
thing is, if people are going to be malicious about it, then you can understand why it's there. But then on the flip side, if you've got people who've spent a lot of money to get to that race, and it's cost a lot of money to enter and drive there, and then if you only race for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
So you're not picking one here? What are you, Switzerland? Christ. Come on, girl. Spit it out.
50-50.
50-50. Christ, that's where I am at. I'm on the fence, people. Comment down below your thoughts. What do you think we should do? How's that croissant? Hey, Sarah's watching my video.
Yum.
She's...
Oh, look at all these people that said happy birthday.
Oh, alright.
Thank you.
Alright, big time.
Thank you, Larry Ryan, 6,003. Thank you, Peter Thomas, 8,053. Thank you, Rachel or J, 3953. They said, I'm one of a kind. Take that.
Yeah.
Paul Maxley, 73. Mr. JW, 74. Robert Barrager, 2596.
Right.
All have wished me happy birthday. Thank you very much for taking the time to leave a comment and wish me happy birthday. I appreciate it.